What if I told you the next 3 weeks could completely change the future of the Toronto Maple Leafs? No exaggeration, no clickbait. Because while most fans are looking at the standings, there's something way bigger happening behind the scenes. A ticking clock, a roster freeze, and decisions that could define whether this team goes all in or quietly reshapes itself before the playoffs. And here's the scary part. Some fan favorites, some key pieces, might not survive the trade deadline. Before we dive into it, Leafs Nation, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and help us reach our first milestone of 500 subscribers. This channel just started, and if you're a real Leafs fan, you're in the right place. All right, let's talk about the 3 Maple Leafs who could realistically be gone by the trade deadline. First, let's set the stage. The NHL trade deadline is still weeks away, but for the Leafs, the timeline is much tighter. With the Olympics happening in February, the league will enforce a roster freeze from February 4 to February 22. That means Toronto has just over 3.5 weeks to make decisions. No last-minute panic moves. No waiting things out. If Brad Treliving wants upgrades for a real Stanley Cup push, moves have to happen fast. And here's the reality Leafs fans don't always want to hear. You don't get quality without giving up quality. Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming before the season started. Last year, this goalie was a massive reason the Leafs made it to the second round. His numbers were elite. 21 wins, 8 losses, 3 overtime losses, a ridiculous 2.14 goals against average, and a .926 save percentage in 34 games. That's borderline elite territory. Fast forward to this season, and everything changed. In just 13 games, his numbers cratered. A 3.51 GAA and .884 save percentage. Then came the upper body injury that kept him out for over 2 months, killing any chance to quickly bounce back. And while he was out, Dennis Hildeby stepped in and shocked everyone. 5 wins, a 2.84 GAA, a .912 save percentage. Suddenly, Toronto has a legit tandem with Hildeby and Joseph Woll. And now the Leafs have a problem they didn't expect. Too many NHL-ready goalies in a market where goalie help is extremely limited. He's 32 years old. Teams remember what he did last season. And if he can show even flashes of that form again, his value rises fast. For Toronto, this might be the most logical trade chip they have right now. When teams call Toronto, they're not just asking for roster players, they're asking for controllable assets. And that's where this young defenseman enters the conversation. Drafted in the first round in 2024, he's not flashy. He's not putting up massive offensive numbers, just 95 points in over 212 junior games. But that's not his game. He's a defense-first defender, strong gap control, physical, hard to play against, smart puck movement. The kind of defenseman playoff teams love. He showed that again at the World Junior Championship, playing confidently under pressure and helping Team Canada win bronze. With Toronto desperately trying to hang on to other elite prospects, this defenseman becomes the most realistic young piece teams will push for in any meaningful deal. And that's what makes him dangerous to lose, but also extremely valuable. Let's be honest, Leafs Nation. This is the one nobody wants to talk about. Toronto does not want to trade this player. But the problem is, neither do other teams want anything else more than him. At just 20 years old, he's already shown he can handle NHL minutes. He's settled into the middle six, contributes on the second power play unit, and plays with maturity beyond his age. Yes, there have been growing pains, like the overtime mistake against Detroit. But that's part of development. Through 39 games, he's put up 7 goals and 9 assists, good for 16 points. That's solid for a rookie. But his real value comes from what he's done before the NHL. With the London Knights, he exploded for 165 points in 100 games, led them to back-to-back OHL championships, and won the 2025 Memorial Cup. He's a proven winner. And that's exactly why, if Toronto wants a true difference maker, a legit playoff-changing piece, this might be the price. It would hurt. It would sting. but it might be the only way to push this team over the top. As a Leafs fan, this is where it gets uncomfortable. You want to win now, but you don't want to mortgage the future completely. The deadline, the roster freeze, the injuries, and the lack of draft picks all collide at the same time. Toronto is at a crossroads, and over the next few weeks, we're going to find out how badly this organization believes in this group. Now I want to hear from you, Leafs Nation. Which of these players would you be willing to trade? Which one is untouchable? And do you think this team should go all in or play it smarter? Drop your takes in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to Leafs Nation Report, and help us reach 500 subscribers. This channel is brand new, and we're building it together. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Leafs go.